Hello and good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of NJCEP Clean Energy Program, I would like to welcome you all to today's webinar. My name is Noman Khurshid, and I'm an outreach account manager on the commercial industrial side, working with commercial real estate, multifamily, and wastewater, among other sectors in New Jersey, to facilitate all the good projects that you people have in mind. I want to introduce my co-presenter for today, John Sousa, who's also an outreach account manager on the commercial industrial side. So without further delay, John, take it away.
Thank you, Newman, and welcome everyone. My name is John Sousa, and I'm a member of New Jersey's Clean Energy Program outreach team, primarily working with the healthcare, data center, multifamily, and commercial real estate sectors. So our job as outreach managers is to educate all ratepayers in New Jersey about the energy efficiency programs that we have and help assist potential end users in finding the right programs for them or their facility. We'll be covering quite a bit of information over the next 30 minutes or so, and we don't obviously expect you all to become experts in the Clean Energy Program after this webinar, but hopefully you will be able to share our program offerings with your colleagues to potentially increase property value and save in future energy costs. I will start today with a bit of background of the Clean Energy Program, and then Newman and I will both dive into our entire suite of commercial and industrial incentive offerings. Newman will then provide a brief overview of our residential programs, and we will end with valuable information on how to take advantage of these programs and where to turn for program assistance. So let's begin with that bit of background. So New Jersey's Clean Energy Program is administered by the New Jersey Board of Public Utility, and the BPU is the agency that oversees all regulated utilities while also addressing consumer protection and energy reform. Funding for the New Jersey's Clean Energy Program is provided through the societal benefits charge that ratepayers will find on their investor-owned utility bill. So along with helping residents and businesses save money, these incentive programs have a positive impact on the environment, lowering emissions and helping the state meet its goal of 100% clean energy by 2050, as published in New Jersey's Energy Master Plan. So these energy conservation and energy efficiency programs help building owners and ratepayers limit the amount of energy consumed, resulting in additional cost savings, and help to build a more sustainable energy future for New Jersey. For added energy resiliency, we also offer specific programs related to distributed energy, such as combined heat and power, which are more efficient alternatives to traditional generator systems. The greenest or cleanest kilowatt is indeed the kilowatt that is not used. Energy conservation and efficiency is the first logical step and will ultimately result in the better utilization of renewable energy technologies like wind and solar. The Clean Energy Act of 2018 set the stage for the creation of specific energy goals as outlined in New Jersey's Energy Master Plan and provides guidance for the Clean Energy Program. The Energy Master Plan serves as a roadmap to achieve New Jersey's ambitious energy goals, and this document is closely monitored by all industries in New Jersey, helping to identify how they can support New Jersey's energy targets. The most recent iteration of the Energy Master Plan was released at the start of the year and is a result of significant stakeholder engagement. 7 main strategies are addressed within this comprehensive plan, serving as a roadmap to achieve New Jersey's ambitious clean energy goals. Now, these goals, of course, include 100% clean energy by 2050, a large reduction in carbon emissions, and to ultimately promote a stronger and fairer New Jersey. Now, this last element addresses the need for economic, social, and environmental equity through energy conservation and resiliency. Ultimately, our outreach efforts align with these strategies to help organizations become more efficient in their energy use. Along with education, our job is also to provide a concierge service to help guide contractors and end users to the programs that best fit their needs. It's important to realize that the money contained within these programs is in the form of incentives, and these incentives are available to all ratepayers. So now let's talk a bit about the highlights of our programs and describe our results in a more visible way. So in fiscal year 20, we processed over 140,000 applications, resulting in around $145 million in paid incentives. These energy savings were delivered and realized through efficiencies in electricity, gas, and oil consumption, as well as other forms of energy generation. So having a background in environmental science and sustainability myself, this is one of my favorite slides because it shows the tangible benefits of our initiatives. The amount of CO2 emissions saved from our programs during the last fiscal year equate to over 159,000 cars removed from our roadways and over 12 million trees planted. The big takeaway here is that the amount of greenhouse gases eliminated has an obvious impact in furthering a more sustainable energy future for New Jersey. So how we achieve these emission reductions is through a wide range of programs offered within New Jersey's clean energy portfolio. As you can see, we currently have 5 different buckets of programs. We have, starting at the left, the renewable energy bucket for offshore wind and solar, and also specialized energy programs, which include new initiatives and research and planning grants. Later in this presentation, we're going to go into some depth about the commercial and industrial suite of incentive programs, which is most applicable to this presentation. Additionally, we will discuss several distributed energy programs that offer energy resiliency, and also briefly touch upon the residential programs for homeowners in New Jersey. So before we dive into the programs, I would like to discuss the transitioning happening within the next couple months. Between April and July, some of the programs will begin to be run by the local utilities, and I'll get into that, but as it stands, all the programs that we will be discussing today are still accepting applications until June 30th, which is the end of this fiscal year, and whatever gets approved by then will be seen through and the incentives will be paid. So once the transition begins, a portion of the commercial and industrial and residential programs are transitioning to be managed by the investor-owned utility companies as mandated by the 2018 Clean Energy Act signed by Governor Murphy. As you can see here, both C&I and residential existing building programs and efficient products are transitioning to the management of the utilities, while the rest or new construction program, including the new construction programs, will stay with New Jersey's Clean Energy Program. The Act requires utility companies reduce their customers' use of natural gas and electricity by set percentages over the next 5 years. So that's why this transition is taking place. Later in this presentation, I'll show you the webpage, NJCEPBackground.com/transition, that contains updated information on this transition process. So I'll now hand it over to Nauman to talk about our programs related to renewable energy.
Thank you, John. So starting with offshore wind, we have offshore wind coming to New Jersey and some really lofty goals to achieve as a state, such as over 7,000 megawatts of generation by 2035. So what you need to know here is that New Jersey Clean Energy Program is supporting offshore wind development as part of the New Jersey Energy Master Plan. Right, so we also have Solar Transition Incentive Program, and this is a successor for the SREC program. For those of you who are not familiar with what that is, SREC stands for Solar Renewable Energy Certificate, and they're now being replaced with TRECs, or Transition Renewable Energy Certificates, until we find a successor for this program. So put in simple words, these are incentives to generate energy from solar. Another program in the renewable energy bucket is Community Solar Program. So what is Community Solar? This is a program that is designed to help people who want solar energy but cannot have it maybe because their building is not suitable for solar. These programs give New Jersey residents and businesses an opportunity to take part in solar energy projects, even if they cannot own a solar system for any reason. The way that it works is that there are subscribers to the program, and the solar facility is shared by those community subscribers. Subscribers receive credits and incentives on their electricity bill for their share of energy that is produced from that solar project. So community solar is for everyone, whether it's a resident or a business or a government entity. They can participate into this and become an anchor. A big component of this is also for affordable housing. So if anyone is interested in this, they can let us know and we can connect them to the right people. So next we have our community energy planning grants. If we can think about New Jersey Energy Master Plan, this is more of a macro level program. Community Energy Plan is localizing the master plan on a more micro scale. It is done in a variety of ways and not just energy efficiency, but using other methods such as waste management or transportation planning, anything to achieve the goal to reduce carbon emissions. There's a lot of good information on this, the energy.gov website, link you can see below in the slide for more information on community energy strategic planning. Just to summarize this diagram, there are many aspects of the program, whether it's energy efficiency, renewable energy generation, or decarbonizing the transportation sector. All of that can be included in this plan. So now I'm going to dive into our commercial industrial program, C&I, or C&I for short. Before we get into it, I would like to point out that the wealth of information we're about to provide you today may seem a little overwhelming, but we want to assure everyone that we're here to guide you through these programs and help you find the best fit for your needs. So reach out to us anytime and ask as many questions as you want. All right, so as you can see, the C&I portfolio is further split into 4 sections, and we're going to talk about them one by one. Before we dive into details of each program, I would like to point out that the green box on the lower part of the slide, which is a reminder about our new enhanced incentives available for most of these C&I programs. So depending on where the facility is located, its ownership, or its utilization, the project may be eligible for enhanced incentives. In order to assess enhanced incentive eligibility, it is important to determine if the building is located in an urban enterprise zone or an opportunity zone. On our website, there is a link with a mapping tool where you can enter the building address and quickly identify if it is located in one of these zones. Additionally, if the building is owned and operated by local government, that building would also be eligible for enhanced incentives. And lastly, buildings designated as affordable housing can also take advantage of these enhanced incentives. So as we move forward talking about our C&I programs, we will identify the value of these enhanced incentives. In some instances, it could be up to 80% of the project cost can be covered, as well as double rebates for some of our prescriptive measures. In the measurements and audit bucket, the first program we have is energy benchmarking, and this serves as a useful first step in the path to energy efficiency. This is a free service that assesses the total energy performance of your building in comparison to similar facilities within the same sector or industry around the country. The resulting score and a detailed report will provide valuable information as to how the building can save on operating costs by implementing energy-saving technologies. The financial incentives associated with our specific programs will also be outlined within the report. So this report is extremely comprehensive and it outlines energy usage by system type and associated energy costs compared to similar buildings around the country. It is important to note that regional climate variance is factored into the analysis to normalize these comparative results. This report will detail the potential energy savings that may be realized by performing the recommended technology upgrades and how these upgrades align with New Jersey Clean Energy Program incentive programs. So within the measurement audit bucket, we also have the local government energy audit program, which as it sounds is available to local government, but also colleges, nonprofits, and schools. This comprehensive ASHRAE level 2 energy audit commences with an examination of energy bill and other information about the building. Then a facility inspection is conducted to assess the operation of all energy related equipment. And finally, all the data is evaluated and a report is generated, which identifies energy efficiency and conservation measures. So if eligible, this energy audit is free and will provide a wealth of information about applicable programs and technologies, in addition to identifying valuable cost savings. So now I'll hand it over to John to discuss comprehensive programs.
So these measurements and audit programs that Newman just went over are really important in determining where to begin and what projects would be most beneficial in terms of energy efficiency and cost savings over time. Next, we're going to examine some of our comprehensive programs, which will help commercial, industrial, government, school, nonprofit, and multifamily buildings pay for these energy-related projects and upgrades. It's important to note that when bundling multiple technologies such as HVAC, lighting, and water conservation measures, you tend to save more money by utilizing these comprehensive programs. So starting with the program catered to the highest energy consumers, our Large Energy User Program, or LEUP, is available for large commercial industrial buildings with an average annual peak energy demand equal or over 400 kilowatt hours. Additionally, to qualify for this program, the building must have paid at least $5 million in utility bills for the previous year. This program has been used in the past by large hospitals and college campuses and is most appropriate for your larger organization with multiple buildings. These projects also often include energy resiliency measures like combined heat and power and fuel cell technologies. So starting with a success story here, this large energy user program was instrumental in New Jersey Transit's project, which resulted in a fairly short payback period. New Jersey Transit used LEUP to upgrade wireless networking, lighting, and occupancy sensors, resulting in nearly $400,000 of annual energy savings and a payback period of less than a year. This is a great example of how beneficial this program is for large organizations with ambitious energy saving goals. So Pay for Performance is the next program within our portfolio. The target audience for this program is also larger facilities like hospitals or schools. And to utilize this program, the building must have an annual peak demand over 200 kilowatts, or for new construction, be over 50,000 square feet of planned conditioned space. It's important to note that this is currently our only comprehensive program for new construction and can result in significant energy savings over time. What's great about Pay for Performance is that a pre-approved contractor will help walk the applicant through the process, helping fill out the application, developing an energy efficiency plan, and installing the equipment. And our vetted and approved list of contractors is available on our website. So in order to be eligible for P4P, 2 or more energy efficiency measures must be planned that will result in at least 15% energy savings. Now this flowchart gives a bit more detail into the process, and what's great is that the pre-approved contractor will perform a majority of these tasks. It's important to note that because this program involves an extensive verification process, the end user must be able to work with a timeline of around 2 to 3 years. Now, the total incentives are split up into 3 payments which correspond to project milestones. The payments are in the yellow boxes here, starting with the approval of the energy reduction plan, the next on verification of installed measures, and the last payment occurring after these savings are verified. Buildings located within opportunity or urban enterprise zones are eligible for enhanced incentives, increasing incentive payments 2 and 3 to up to 40% of the project cost. Now let's highlight 3 success stories from the Pay for Performance program. So this is one of our newest success stories and shows an excellent example of a Pay for Performance project. Bell Works in Holmdel modernized their facility and conference hall with LED lighting, a heat recovery system, integrated controls, and variable frequency drives to increase comfort in their interior spaces and help save on annual energy costs. With our $2 million worth of incentives and resulting cost savings and energy efficiency cost savings, this project has a payback period of about 4.5 years, which is quite good. So this next success story is a multifamily high-rise building located in Jersey City that used the Pay for Performance program to realize energy savings of more than 1 megawatt hour of electricity and 1,800 million BTUs of natural gas per year. These energy efficiency measures resulted in a very short payback period for this project of 1.5 years. So this last success story is great, and we chose to include it because it highlights the emerging indoor farming or indoor horticulture sector. Waterside Gardens received around $300,000 in incentives through the Pay for Performance program to upgrade condensing motors and to install variable frequency drives. As a recent update, two of our other programs, the Custom Tailored Energy Efficiency Program and the SmartStart Buildings Program, can now be used for indoor horticulture retrofits or new construction. Newman will talk about these new programs later in the presentation, but please feel free to contact us about more specifics. So this next comprehensive program, Direct Install, is a turnkey program that works well for your average small or mid-sized business. Restaurants, libraries, and schools often use our Direct Install program, and like pay for performance, the end user will partner with a participating contractor, which also can be found on our website. Applicants may also be able to use their own contractor outside of our pre-selected regional contractor list. So please reach out to us and we will direct you to our program manager who will provide all the necessary requirements. Our registered contractors will conduct a no-cost walkthrough of the facility and create an energy plan reflecting the specific needs of the client. This same contractor will handle all the installation. So as you can see, this program is relatively hands-off. And one of the most attractive aspects of this program is indeed the savings. Up to 70% of the project costs are covered with our incentives. And these incentives increase to up to 80% if the project qualifies for enhanced incentives. Once again, this includes buildings located in urban enterprise zones, opportunity zones, operated by a county or municipal government, K-12 school, or affordable housing facility. And what's great about Direct Install is that the customer simply pays the contractor the remaining cost of the project after the incentives. Also, all labor and material costs have been pre-negotiated with the contractors and suppliers. So let's look at a few success stories for Direct Install. The next two slides here highlight an excellent example of a multifamily building that maxed out on their annual incentive cap of $250,000 for two direct install projects. Energy efficiency incentives reaching $125,000 for each project resulted in annual energy savings of around $20,000 respectively. The Winslow apartment complex now boasts a brand new state-of-the-art gas-fired boiler, integrated water source heat pumps, and added pipe insulation measures. Additionally, upgrades in lighting and low-flow aerators contribute to significant energy savings and a relatively short payback period. So the last comprehensive program I'm going to discuss today is the Customer Tailored Energy Efficiency Program, or CTEEP for short. This program bundles multiple technologies into a streamlined program with on-site and technical assistance available. As is often the case, these programs and projects can be somewhat complex. So what's great is that our program experts will help guide you through the process and provide their technical insight. The incentive values for the CTEEP program are identical for those within the SmartStart program that Newman will talk about shortly. This program is helpful for buildings that already have a plan for upgrading multiple energy technologies, but only want to submit one streamlined application. This next infographic here shows the CTEEP process, starting with the initial scoping session to work out the complexities of the project with our program staff. Then after the energy efficiency plan is approved, the measures can be installed and the incentives paid. So now I'll hand it back over to Nauman to talk about our SmartStart or prescriptive measure rebate program.
Thank you, John. So next we're going to talk about this single major rebate, which is known as the SmartStart program. So SmartStart is for all commercial and industrial buildings, and there is no sites to qualify. This is your light-for-light replacement program. Whether it's existing building, also new construction, it really covers the full gamut. Whatever that does not get included in the comprehensive programs that John talked about can be included through SmartStart program. So how it works is fairly simple. There is a rebate attached to the energy efficient equipment to incentivize installing it. There are two tracks for this program, which are prescriptive and custom design measures that I'm going to expand on shortly. Just know that there's a $500,000 incentive cap for each electric and gas account in any fiscal year, which is a really generous cap, and we don't see a lot of people running into it. It is important to note that enhanced incentives are available for replacing existing building equipment, and those can be up to double the amount of incentive that you would normally get. A great thing about SmartStart program is that, let's say there's a qualifying efficient equipment that was installed and purchased within the last year, even that is eligible for a rebate. So you can get some money back for installing that energy efficient equipment. You can find out more details on the amount of incentives available for each equipment through our website. For custom design measures, the incentives are a little different, and they are calculated based on the lesser of the three categories, which you can see that they're based on either energy savings or install cost or the payback period. So just to summarize, SmartStart program is where you really get to cherry pick what you want, how much you want, and when you want it. So you can bundle multiple measures as you like on the go, which is great. Like I said earlier, there are two tracks for this program. There is the prescriptive track, which includes a list of energy efficient equipment from, let's for example, Energy Star or DLC Design Lights Consortium website. And they tell you how energy efficient the equipment is. So this covers anything from lighting, electric chillers, VFDs, gas heatings to food service equipment. And you can find a list of eligible equipment from our website. So if you're installing one of these prescriptive equipment, you can get a rebate through the SmartStart program. Alternatively, you can use the custom route for emerging energy efficient technologies that are not covered under prescriptive measures, but they can still show cost-effective efficiency improvement. Although pre and post inspection are required for custom measures, and they must meet codes for retrofit projects. So you cannot just do a custom measure and expect a rebate. It has to be pre-approved by us. A great example of the SmartStart program is the emerging indoor horticulture, for which the lighting retrofit are now part of prescriptive path, and you can get rebates for LED listed on the DLC website for horticulture. Previously, horticulture lighting used to be on the custom path, which took a little longer because we required pre-approval for that. But now that it's prescriptive, it's fast and easy rebate. Other technologies that prove to be cost-effective efficiency improvement within this sector can still go through custom SmartStart program, so there are incentives available there. Moving on to a few success stories for the SmartStart program, Waterside Garden is a multifamily project which did lighting upgrades for a total project cost of around $97,000, and the incentive they received was around $65,000, which bringing the payback period to only 1.5 years. Another success story was a lighting upgrade which got twice the incentive, being affordable housing, bringing their payback period down to less than a year, which is great because they can recoup their investment in that time and save money for the rest of the useful life. So next, we're going to talk about our distributed energy resources bucket. And we characterize this bucket as programs that improve resiliency, such as combined heat and power for on-site generation, research in other emerging technologies such as microgrid and battery development that the Board of Public Utilities and the Clean Energy Program are pursuing. So combined heat and power, talking about combined heat and power, it's for customers who want on-site generations and they're not already utilizing their waste heat. There is no qualification for size, and this technology enables you to be resilient when the power from grid is not available for any reason. You could still be running. We see a lot of hospitals use this technology, so there are incentives available to use this technology. Right, so this chart goes into incentives and savings available. I'm not going to go into much detail here, but I would like to point out that there are incentives available for all sizes of CHP projects. A case study of CHP is Jersey Shore University Medical Center, where the total project cost was around $3.8 million, and we paid $1 million in incentive, bringing the payback period down to 1 year. And that's another great example of quick payback period through our program, helping to cover the cost of the project. I just want to quickly talk about the financing for government agencies, which is the ESIP program. So ESIP is the Energy Savings Improvement Program, and this provides alternative financing for energy efficiency projects for public institutions. This program is administered directly by the New Jersey Board of Public Utilities, and the way that it works is that it leverages the energy efficiency savings and puts that towards paying off the loan. A big win about the program is that public institutions don't need a referendum and get voter approval for this project. And another good thing is that there's no upfront capital required, and it already incorporates all the incentives from the Jersey Clean Energy Program. All right, so lastly, I want to touch upon the residential programs we have. And as you can see, the residential programs, like the commercial industrial programs, come in different buckets. There are programs that take the whole house approach, which is through the home performance with Energy Star. We have warm and cool advantage, which are standalone rebates for heating and cooling equipment, similar to SmartStart on the C&I side. And we have energy efficient appliance rebate for refrigerators, washers, dryers, and other appliances. Something great about the program that everyone should know is that if you're getting rid of an old appliance, do check our website to see if you can get money for recycling it. We also have recently launched the bulk recycling for multifamily to recycle 5 or more appliances at once. Then we also have something for the new construction of zero energy ready homes. And finally, we have the Comfort Partner Program, which is a free program for hot water upgrade, replacement, and other things for income qualified families. If you need more information on the residential incentives, reach out to us anytime and we can connect you to our residential outreach account managers. So that concludes the extensive list of programs, and now I'll just pass it over to John for closing remarks.
Thank you, Newman. So before we close out the presentation, I want to talk a bit more about transition. The transitioning of these programs involves many steps before the utility programs are approved and the information about them can be made available to the public. Until that time, there will be questions, obviously, about the transition, and the BPU and the utilities may be unable to answer such questions regarding topics as new program design, incentives levels, and et cetera. As we mentioned earlier in this presentation, this transition will occur after July 1st at the start of the next fiscal year. As you can see here, the portfolio of New Jersey Clean Energy Program incentive offerings will remain active until the time of transition. At that point, all existing building programs will shift over to the utilities. These new programs will have new features and provide expanded financing opportunities and multifamily specific programs. I will now ask Nauman to share a really great resource for information regarding transition. So NewJerseyCleanEnergy.com/transition, Nauman is going to pull up here shortly, contains a distilled version of all the information we provided today concerning the transition process and a timeline. We suggest that you check back in regularly to this website to review the updated information, as the frequently asked questions and responses will be updated as answers become known. Again, we encourage you to use the clean energy programs as they currently stand until utility programs are available. We will use this website to provide updated information and further the transition process FAQs. Any questions we receive that cannot be answered at that time will be saved and used to update the website. We indeed thank you for your patience. So that's all we have for you today. You can check on our website for more information, and be sure to follow our newsletter, listserv, social media to stay up to date. I would like to thank you for viewing our webinar and hope we were able to provide you with valuable information. You can reach out to us anytime using the contact information provided, and we will be happy to assist you and discuss any projects that you have in mind. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, everyone.